Hey everyone, got some updates for you. What's going on today? All right. Well, as you can see, most of the ceiling is in on this side of the beam. So we had the living room side complete. And now over here, the entry, what's going to be the entryway side, because we're putting a wall in right here, sort of. You'll see down the road. We got a little bit more ceiling to do. I'll be finishing that up today. My goal was yesterday to do it, but I had to spend a couple hours in a box store. It wasn't fun. Trying to do some research on HVAC stuff and for the heating system. As we found, this is a little interesting. So I got this blocking it. This is the return register that they put in, and I'll have to show it to you in the basement sometime. But I noticed at night, sitting here, I could smell musty odors, and I didn't know where they were coming from. They're actually, and then I realized it's the basement I'm smelling. So what's happening is when you have your heating system, forced hot air, you got these vents like over here where the air is coming out, the hot air, but it's got to be able to pull cold air back to the furnace and recycle it through the house. So they took two ceiling joists like this, and somebody just nailed a piece of sheet metal to the bottom of it and used the wood beams as the foundation for the pipe. I don't know what the hell. So every time the cool air at night starts to set in, you get this smell coming out of the basement. It rises up, and it's not fun. It's not a nice smell. Anyway, so I got to stop that, and nobody there could really help me, but that's what the internet's for. Master YouTube. All right. Oh, by the way, I got a little ding on my head you guys have to look at today. Pulling nails out of the ceiling, because there's more nails in this house than there is wood. And the crowbar flew out of my hand and whacked me right off the head. So that's what the mountain is for. All right, so as you can see, we got this to work on. Slowed me down a little bit yesterday. We got these lights in, and I wired my first three-way switch. So three-way is kind of cool, the first time doing it. And if you got two switches, so I got one here. This is the outside porch light. But this one here and this one here control the same lights. Look at that. Woo! No fires. And if I go over here, boom, same thing. Works. All good. All right. So that was kind of that was a learning experience and pretty neat. Over here in the corner, you can still see insulation. Well, everything else is drywalled. There's a couple little patches I got to do. And the reason this is open, you can see I put a piece of plywood here already, but this is finished plywood. On that wall over there, we just used rough plywood, and that was more for structure. This over here, I picked up yesterday another piece of finished plywood, and that's going to be the backing for a built-in bookcase. So that gives more structure to be able to screw the shelves in and everything. Also, it's a waste of money to do drywall back here, and the same with these ceiling boards. There's no sense in going all the way here when I'm just going to put a bookcase in and hide the stuff. So it's just bleeding money that you don't need to spend. I had to reframe this doorway because somebody had cut it short. Well, they cut it high to try to open up the top so people could walk through here that were taller. No tall people live in this house, and no tall people are welcome in this house. Just kidding. Tall burglars will whack their heads and knock themselves out. All right, so I had to put in a new header in here and new jack studs because they had notched the beam. I think I showed you guys that before. So that's all set. And you can see the cisterne's complete that we talked about before. So this is the double 2x6s that support this opening for the spiral staircase, which eventually is going to come out and we'll probably attach stairs over on the other side. So this will reinforce that pulling action when people are going up and down the stairs. The upstairs bathroom's fully demoed. Tom finished that yesterday. He actually started putting some new studs in because they didn't frame it properly. I'll show you that in another video. But that's where we're at today. I'm going to finish this, get the plywood in, and start dressing up around the door so that we can get the mudding and taping done. That's it. Out.